Did you know that there is actually quite a story behind the car Donald Duck drives? The major, I guess you could call it a problem with the many fictional characters is that they drive fictional cars, and is often not consistent. It depends on the writer or cartoonist that creates the story to design a car assigned to the character, and usually in every new story, the character drives a different car. And so this is the truth for many Disney characters, except Donald. He always consistently drives one and the same car. And that is his trusty old 313, a small red car with vintage looks. As expected, the styling and proportions are cartoonish. It's just a generic red old car, right? Well, there is more to it. First of all, the car was introduced in the animated short film Don Donald from 1937, where Donald trades in his donkey for a shiny red car to impress his date. As you can imagine, the film is filled with car-related slapstick humor and problems. But this short film laid the foundations of Donald's daily. A year later, 1938, the car was introduced on paper as Donald's Ride. Comic artist Al Taliaferro designed the car and gave it the iconic 313 license plates. 3 times bad luck, as Donald tended to be the world's most unluckiest duck. For many people, that's the name of the car, the 313, but that's not exactly true. Taliaferro gave the car an actual make and model name, the 1934 Belchfire Runabout. Sounds convincing, right? Until you find out that both the car company and the model name don't exist. It's completely made up, and so is the car. According to one of the stories, Donald built the car himself, using parts of different cars, like the engine from a 1920 Mixwell, probably a reference to the car company Maxwell. The car body came from a 1922 Dodge, probably a reference to the Dodge car company, but switched the letter O for the U. The axles were taken off a 1923 Cadillac, probably a mix-up of 2 brands, Packard and Cadillac, and the wheels were taken off a lawnmower. Now, I don't know what type of mower uses these overinflated tires, but anything is possible if you believe in Disney's never-ending magic. So, 1934 Belchfire Runabout. And yet, there is also a different name commonly applied to this car, and that's also one I'm more familiar with as well, which is the Duckatti Micro, with no given model year. In this case, the Ducati is a reference to the French car builder Bugatti, although the company never made small roadsters such as this. In the 1990s, it was French artist Claude Lacroix that made an actual cutaway image of Donald's car. Whether this man was a car enthusiast or gearhead remains a mystery, but he didn't just fantasize a made-up inside of the car. No, it's actually a surprisingly detailed design, and we can extract quite some information from it. So, what does Donald drive? His car is an open-top roadster. It's not even a convertible, considering it doesn't even have a folding roof. It looks like a 2-seater, but it actually comes with a so-called dicky seat. Usually Donald's nephews sit in there, making the car a 4 or 5-seater. Underneath the red body we find huge overinflated tires, sometimes all black, sometimes all white, and sometimes they're white walls. By the looks of it, it's not a very complicated car. It's front-engined and rear-wheel drive. The rear suspension seems to be a solid live axle with coil springs connected to an open differential. The car has drum brakes all around and has rack and pinion steering. Now, I'm no expert, but I believe I see a 2-speed manual transmission that links the engine to the rear wheels, but I'd love to be corrected in the comment section. And so let's talk about the engine. By the looks of it, it's a longitudinally mounted 4-stroke inline 2-cylinder engine with an overhead cam and 2 valves per cylinder. I bet the engine is under 1 liter or 60 cubic inch of displacement, and given the tech, engine size, and the time frame, the 1930s, I wouldn't be surprised if the engine made anywhere near 25 to 30 horsepower. The car probably isn't all that heavy though, and last time I checked, ducks don't weigh as much as humans, so I guess it's somewhat peppy, but not lightning bolt fast as you see in the movies. The car is sparsely equipped, however, with a speedometer and tachometer. It's unknown whether it has a radio, heater, or even a gas gauge. But wait, there's more! The cutaway image also shows a selection of sketches of prototypes, like a 313 Deluxe. Here the hood is extended, probably to accommodate a larger engine. Because of this, it actually starts to look a lot like a Bugatti. a 313 Formula 1 version with race tires, a spoiler and front wing, a 313 off-roader with even larger off-road tires and jacked-up suspension, a 313 Billionaire, completely made out of gold, and the grille is replaced by a Rolls-Royce-like waterfall grille and massive hood ornament, a perfect buy for Donald's rich uncle, Scrooge McDuck, a 313 Dragster with the typical massive rear tires and what I believe are 6 exhaust pipes, interesting considering they come out of a 2-cylinder engine, and a 313 amphibious vehicle, turning the car into a boat. But one question remains. Is there any real-life car out there that comes close to Donald's 313? Well, there are quite a few actually. Generally, it's agreed upon that the American Bantam cars from the 1930s are the closest thing to a fictional Ducati or Belchfire. American Bantam was a short-lived car company producing very small and ever so cute 1930s cars in various body styles. American Bantam was a successor of the American Austin Car Company, in their turn based on the British Austin Motor Company. So really, if you think of Donald's car, you think of this. If we only look at the engine and its specs, then the real-life car that comes closest to it is the Honda N600 from the 1960s and 70s. This car features pretty much the exact same engine design, 2 cylinders, overhead cam, 2 valves per cylinder. A modern-day version of this engine and overall size of the car would be something like a Fiat 500 with the twin-air 2-cylinder engine. And last but not least, this whole situation has led to some car fanatics to build their own Donald Duck car. In the 1990s, a group of Norwegian car enthusiasts got together to build a real-life Donald Duck car version. It's a realistic representation, even down to the cartoonish proportions, and I have no clue where they got the tires from. Under the hood, no 2-cylinder, but an engine from an Opel Kadett. It even has a dicky seat. It's allowed to be driven on public roads, but banned from highways. So, there you have it. Donald's Red Devil, the 313, is a sporty 2-seater either built by Belchfire or Ducati. And if you want a real-life example, it has to be the American Bantam.